Hello everyone, I want to do a couple more pages in my 2021 Usual Scraps journal. I've got this beautiful page here that I did a couple of months ago using a napkin that Alienne had sent me in Happy Mail. The background is one of my gel prints. I've also got this beautiful envelope that Alienne sent me Happy Mail in. You can see that I've used white gouache here to just white out my address and Alienne's on the back. But what I like about this are the postage stamps and the washi tape that's on the front, and it just seems too nice to go to waste. And what I'm thinking is that I can have the envelope hanging over there. I just happen to like the flap of the envelope as well with the washi tape. Again, just goes absolutely perfect with this page here. So let's see what we can do. Putting the journal to one side, let's see what we can do with this envelope. I've got this beautiful piece of silk paper here. It's got gold threads in it, but again, colour-wise, it's absolutely beautiful. I don't mind the fact that you can see Nina Ribena underneath, because that just proves that it was an envelope that was sent to me in Happy Mail. I just also love these little details here. And what I'm thinking is that I can maybe add just a piece of this silk paper here, this handmade paper just over the background of the envelope, something like that. So what I'm going to do is just use a glue stick, and let's glue a piece of this down. So I'm just going to apply the glue straight to the envelope, just like this. Again, as I always do, paying particular attention to the edges, just like this. Let's have some in the centre as well, but I do want to go over the edges just to make sure that you know, that doesn't come unstuck. That's where if it's going to lift, it will do. So there we go. Let's just move that out of the way, and without you know, wasting any, let's do this. There we go. And I'm just going to use a bone folder just to make sure that that's pressed down nice and firmly. I'm just going to give this a quick blast with the heat tool, and then I shall trim around the edges. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? I've also got this beautiful napkin that Alienne sent in the same package. Isn't this just absolutely beautiful? And I'm thinking that I might be able to add this bird with the rose here, just because the colours match. The stamps on the right hand side absolutely beautifully. So what I'm going to do is try and just remove the piece that I want here. I've got a glass full of water. I'm just going to use a paintbrush, and I'm just going to try and add some water here just to rip this out like this, just being really gentle about this. So we'll go all the way around the outside like this, and hope that that will tear away really easily, which it should. The water just makes it much easier to tear the bits away that you particularly want. Here we go. And it's coming away really nicely. Just, you know, take your time about it and do it really, really gently. So there we go. And so I'm thinking that that will go on there, something like that. Absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, we know that napkins are either 2 or 3 ply. I think this one is 3 ply. Is it 3 ply? Yep, 3 ply. So here we go. Those are the 2 plies that have come apart really nicely. I'm just going to grab myself a piece of deli paper. Hang on, bear with me. And I'm just going to use some matte medium, I think, just to stick this down. So we'll pop some matte medium over here like this. Let's just grab another paintbrush. In fact, I'll just use this to catch all of the excess glue. Pop this down like this, and then we can pop the napkin on top. And I want that to go there, just like that. And again, I'm just going to pop a little bit of matte medium over the top just to seal it, starting off in the middle and working my way out to the edges. Just getting rid of any creases that might happen to be there. There we go, just like this. And the fact that we've torn it around the edges as well will disguise the edges. Absolutely beautiful. Here we go, just like this. If we get the odd wrinkle, that's fine. That's, you know, just just part of it, isn't it? So I'm just going to give this a quick blast with my heat tool, and then I can just cut these edges away. And now that the glue is dry, I'm just going to use my emery board, as I always do, just to get rid of that excess napkin from around the edges. And you can see it just comes away really easily and neatly, which is what I like about doing it this way. Now we need something to fill the space in the top part of the envelope here. So bringing back that napkin, I think that I'd quite like to use this piece here. So again, I'm just going to use my water just to go around that, like that there. Let's just tear this away. So we've got that part there. I'd also like this postage stamp part of the napkin as well. So I'm just going to wet around this as well, just like that. And let's see if we can do something with these parts of the napkin here as well. So again, let's just prise these plies apart. We've got one more to go. Where is it? Here we go. That's that one there. Just be really gentle with these because of course they're fragile. Do the same with this one here as well. There we go. And again, just bring back my deli paper. Let's put on some of the matte medium, and let's see if we can glue these down as well. I'm just going to dry the excess water away from my paintbrush. I want these to go here, something like this. Let's just do the postage stamp. What have I done with it? Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. And I just want that to go here, like that. And I'm just going to gently put that down. Let's just get rid of those ruffles there. Again, you can see that the edges are just, blending away into the background. Doesn't that look pretty? And I think I just want this one here to go. Oh, let's just get rid of some of that matte medium. And I want this one to go here, about there, just like that. And to finish this off, I've just torn out 2 more butterflies, which I'm just going to glue down here like this. And I think another one here, just to fill out that blue space, white space, as it were. And again, I'm just going to glue that down with some matte medium. And I think that will finish that page off, or that side of the envelope, really nicely. Here we go. Let's just pop that one on there like that. Let's not overthink it. Just like that. And this one on here. Come here, you. Let's add a bit more of the matte medium. Matte medium is just absolutely perfect for napkins. There we go. Just like that. Doesn't that look pretty? And then on the other side of the envelope, where I've used gouache to white out Alienne's address, I'm just going to use another butterfly here. Just to add a touch of detail. Again, let's just grab some matte medium, wipe out the excess water from my paintbrush, and I'm just going to pop that on there. Where's it gone? Just like that. I do want to ink around the edges, and I'm just going to use some Distress ink in frayed burlap, just mainly to get rid of the white starkness from around the edge here. So I'm just going to do this just to grunge it up a bit. You see, I love how that looks. That's made all the difference. So I'll do this all the way around, and I'll do it on the back as well, and all around the flap of the envelope here. That's going to go on there, something like that. But I do want to do something with the background of this page here. Let me just find out how I can take it out. Here we go. We've got nothing on the back. I'm just going to use some of the leftover piece of homemade mulberry paper here. And I'm just going to glue a piece of this down onto the background as well. I'll just use a glue stick to do that. So I've popped that back inside the journal, and I just want my envelope just to hang over like this, like that. Doesn't that look beautiful? And I've got just a gold paper clip which I thought would hold it in place just like that. I've also got this piece of calendar page. It's looks like a postcard, and doesn't that match absolutely beautifully? In fact, I think I want it to go that way round. Now I do want to do something to cover up the back. I've got a piece of checked paper just from a notepad, so I'm just going to glue some of this onto the back, ink around the edges, and that's that done as well. So that's that done, ready to go in the journal. Love that. I've rounded the corners as well, which I think just looks more aesthetically pleasing. I do need something to go across the top here, and nothing springs to mind at the moment, but I'm sure I will find something eventually. Doesn't that look pretty though? Love how that looks, and I just love the way that these pages flow together as well. To finish off this cluster of pages, I want to add this card here to this background. It just goes absolutely beautifully. This was the card that Ali-Anne sent with the Happy Mail. I obviously don't want to glue it directly down to the background because I don't want to cover up the note that Ali-Anne wrote on the back. So what I've decided to do is use the remaining piece of this handmade mulberry paper, this silk paper, which I used in the background on the card and on the page. Here I just think it, ties everything together. I don't want to waste any of it. In fact, what I'll do, what have we got on the back here? Can I just, if I can carefully pull this out. We've got the lovely owl I did last week on the back of this. I just want to add some of the mulberry paper across here like this. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glue the whole of this piece down to a piece of cream cardstock here. Let me just trim this, just so that we haven't got these dangly bits to wrestle with. What glue? I think I'll use some matte medium to do that. So we'll just apply some over here like this. That should be plenty. Have I got whoops, throw it on there, Nina, why don't you? Let me just grab a piece of deli paper as well to catch any mess. So I'm just going to smooth that out like so. I've probably got far too much on here, but that's okay. So let's just smooth that out. Have I got a credit card to hand? Here we go. Let's just get rid of some of that excess. There we go, that will do. Just wipe that off on a tissue paper, and I'm just going to glue this down, just because I think if I use the mulberry paper on its own, it's just going to get lost on that background there, whereas this will just make it slightly more opaque and give it more structure for what I've got in mind as well. So I'm just going to give that a quick blast with the heat tool, and then I'm just going to cut that out, and you'll see what I'm going to do with it in a second. So we just give that a quick blast with the heat tool. It will take seconds for this to dry. I've trimmed the paper down, and you can see that the mulberry paper is now nice and dry, and I've trimmed it down to 16.5 centimetres because the width of this background here is 14.5 centimetres. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my scoreboard just to score a centimetre at either end. So just pop this on like this, and I'm going to score a centimetre here like that, turn it over and do a centimetre on the other side, and then I can fold those over, and this will just mean that it just gives me a bit more room in the little pocket that I'm going to add. So I'm just going to glue this down here. Now before I do that, what I do want to do is just cut some little V's. What have I done with my small scissors, and which way round do I want it to go? I think that way round like that. So I'm just going to cut a V there like that, and the same on the other side, just like that. And then I'm just going to glue this down onto the background there like that, and I'm just going to apply some glue here like this. And in fact, what I'm thinking is that I think I'm going to score again at the 0.5 centimetre mark, just here, and I'm just going to make another fold. I think that might be better. You can see that I'm just making this design up as I go along, and again I am just going to need to cut out that little little notch there, like that. And the same here. Should have thought about that first, but there we go. I didn't. There we are. And then what I can do, let's just fold this over. What I can do is just glue that down now to my background, and that will form a little pocket for my note card to fit in. So I'm just going to glue that down with some Fabri-Tac. You can see I've just added glue to those flaps, and I'm just going to stick that straight down to the bottom there, like that. And I'm going to need to weight this down underneath a heavy book just to make sure that that glue grabs. But there we go, and that will make a nice little pocket for my tag to go in. That's glued down nice and firmly, and just one more finishing touch before I pop this back into the journal. I'm just going to add a small amount of glue just to the top here. I just feel it needs some trim or something just to finish it off. So there we go, and I've got this gorgeous lace which I think works beautifully. So I'm just going to stick that on top, and again I'm just going to weight that down until that glue grabs. Isn't that pretty? That page is now back in the journal, and so time for me to add my card, and I just think that matches beautifully. Really happy with that. So there's just two more pieces I want to pop into my journal this week. I've got these two magazine cuttings here. I've got this one and I can't decide between the two sides. They're both absolutely beautiful, so I've decided I'm going to use them both. I'm just going to snip around the edges using my corner rounder. Then I'm just going to ink around the edges using some distress ink, and I think I'm going to pop this through my laminator. I'm going to leave the words on here. This is from a Dutch art magazine. This means wisdom, and this here means with the feral ones, or with the wild ones, I presume it really means. Wisdom again on the back. I think that's absolutely beautiful. And then I want to do something with this piece here. Now this, I presume, has come from the same place as this one here. So again, we've got the repeat element, which you know I like. So let's see what we can do with this as well. I've inked around the edges of this one here, front and back, and so whilst I'm waiting for the laminating machine to heat up, I'm just going to pop that to one side, and let's do something with this. Let me just move the journal out of the way. Now I've dug out one of my eco prints. This is one of the ones I did a couple of years ago, and I'm thinking that I'd quite like to add this part here onto the back. The colours are just absolutely perfect. I've just got a piece of deli paper, and I'm just going to stick it down with some glue sticks. So I'm just going to apply some all over the back, just making sure, as usual, I've got plenty around the edges. Let's just do this really, really quickly. Everybody always wants to know what type of glue I'm using for these projects, so I thought it's, you know, quicker and easier just to show you. So there we go, that's that done. And then I'm just going to glue it onto this. I think I want this portion here, so let's just turn that over and just stick that down there like that. To use my bone folder just to burnish it down, and then I'll just weight that down underneath a heavy book and cut around the edges. The colours on the back are just absolutely perfect, and again, as I've done with the other piece, I'm just going to round the corners and ink around the edges, and then I'll decide whether I want to put an eyelet or anything through the top, or just leave it as it is. What a beautiful image. So that's my finished little bookmark tag. I love that. The glue needs to dry. It's a little bit wrinkly just because the glue is still wet. Now, I thought I'd show you what I'm doing with this one here. I've started to cut this. I didn't want to waste the whole laminating sheet, and so I've started at the sealed end here, and I'm just cutting out a little bit bigger than I need, just so that I can trim it perfectly once it's done. But that will just keep the rest of the laminating sheet intact. And so I'm just going to run this through the laminator. Now, because this is so small, what I'm going to do, let me just reach for a piece of paper. I'm going to fold a piece of A4 paper in half, and I'm going to slot this inside here like this. Let me just make sure that that's straight, and that will just make sure that this doesn't get stuck, just because it's not very big. I don't want to lose it in the middle of the laminating machine. I'm just trying to get that straight at the bottom so that I've only got one edge to trim. There we go, that's about right. And so I'm just going to feed that through just like that. This has now been through the laminator, and I've used a matte laminating pouch. I much prefer the matte laminating pouches to the glossy ones. Isn't that just lovely? So that's going to go in there like that. Which way round do I want it to go? I just think that the colours on this side here just match perfectly with the background, so I'm going to have it that way up. And here's that little tag. I may well add something to the top at a later date. I don't know, I'm not inspired yet, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. And nothing is inspiring me to do something with this page here. Don't rush it. Don't just feel that you've got to pop something down on a page just because, as it stands, this is the only one that's not finished. I will find something eventually, and it will just automatically pop up when the time is right. I'm sure it will. I'm calling that done for today, but I just hope that you've enjoyed seeing a few more pages come to life in this journal. I really enjoy working in this. I think, for one, I just find the cover so inspiring, and if anybody wants to know how I made it, I'll leave the link to the video in the description box below, together with the playlist as well of all the other videos that I've made putting pages together in this book. But if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. As I always say, it really does let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate you following along for future videos. But most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.